Hey y'all, happy Sunday and welcome to this week's live Q&A session. This is the portion of the show where we allow YouTube to send out notifications that we're going live. If you're watching this live Q&A on replay, please scrub ahead until this graphic disappears and the actual show begins. If you're watching live and you have any comments or questions, please go ahead and put them in the live chat. But for now, grab a beverage, sit back, and relax while the countdown timer does its thing. Then we'll get started. Hey y'all, happy Sunday. Hope everybody is doing well. Hope those of you who are getting slammed with snow are able to keep your heads above the level. It's wow. It's been something back east. Y'all Shoo, uh, you're braver people than me. They say, heck no. I see David Hittenberger here. We were down in Reading last weekend. That's why we did not have a live Q&A last weekend. We were up at, down at the Red Lion there on Hilltop, David. And the Reading solo bagpipe competition was going on. Linda did not compete. We went down basically to get together with old friends, make a few new friends, and just have a good weekend of listening to music. And a great time was had by all of us, and just gave it a good go. So, with that in mind, I didn't have a whole heck of a lot of time to prep for any kind of a topic this week. So it's an open Q&A. Feel free to throw in your questions. I do have one little thing to talk about. Actually, a couple little things to talk about based on one comment thrown out here in the chat before we went live. But before we do any of that, as is customary when we're just getting going on our Sunday live Q&As, I want to say howdy and a special thanks to my friend Steve over at Harneal Media. Now, I've been talking about Harneal Media forever, it seems, since the beginning, really, of this live stream series. And this is what, number 300 and something. I don't even remember which one this is. 330, not 329, 339, something like that. Anyhow, but I've been doing it for a reason, and that's because Steve is just a man. I mean, what can I say other than that? I don't know a thing about running a website. Well, I take that back. I know a teeny tiny bit. I know how to get some things done. For everything else, I rely on Steve. And I'm here to tell you, it is Steve makes things easy. I'll just put it to you that way. He's very, very competitively priced. He's right on top of everything. And probably one of the most important things about this relationship is it's 100% personalized. And that's not just for me, that's for every single person that he services with his web development. So if you are even toying with the idea of creating a website, of reinforcing your brand, and taking control of your business, there's no better way to do it than with that website. And Harneal Media is the only company I am ever going to refer anybody to. So as long as Steve is here, I'm here for the ride. Do yourself a favor. Get over to harnealmedia.com. You'll find a link in the description of every video and every live stream on this channel. And it's that way for a reason. If you're looking to develop a web store, you maybe are listing with a third-party service and you're tired of paying listing fees and paying a high commission and seeing your competition advertised right there on the same page with your products or services. It's time to take control of your business. It also adds legitimacy to your brand and strengthens your brand. If you're considering sponsorship or some of these affiliate programs, most of them require a website with an established tracking pattern before they'll even consider you. It's time to take control. It's time to get started. And the best first step, there is no obligation. The best first step is to hit harnealmedia.com, click that contact us button, and then shoot Steve a message. Let him know what you're looking for. He'll get back to you and he'll take care of you. That's the most important thing. Thank you, Steve, very much for everything you do behind the scenes and for sponsoring MarkLindsayCNC.com. I want to address something I gotta find it now. Let me see here. Okay, yeah, this is episode 329. I'm trying to. Oh, come on. Well, I can't find it now. Let me see if I did. Okay. This from Joseph Finley, who says, last video I seen was 10 months ago. And I just got the notification that the live was coming up. I thought you would quit us, Mark. We've been here. We've been here every Sunday, Joseph. Noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. Run about an hour to an hour and a half, somewhere along the lines in there. Just depends on the topic, the questions, the answers, and the banter back and forth. For those who don't know, the reason why I haven't put out an edited video for, well, since last February, March, something like that, is because I have been fighting shingles. And it is, it's been a fight, okay? Some of you already know all this. Take a break, pull up, grab a beverage, whatever. I was under the impression that shingles was just a very painful rash that lasted a few weeks, and then it was over with. I had fully intended to get a shingles vaccination in November of 24, and some other medical things came along, and it kind of fell through the cracks. Well, guess who ended up with shingles starting in April of 25? Yeah, it's been that long. Next month will be a full year. And I'm just going to flat out say it. If you're over 50 years old and you've had chicken pox, you have the shingles virus within you. It may not have manifested itself yet. Consider yourself lucky. Get down and get the vaccination. That's all there is to it. You do not want this. It is a virus that attacks the nerves, and it manifests itself at first as like joint pain. My shoulder got sore. Then suddenly I started noticing bumps on the back of my shoulder, and then I broke out in a rash down here on my arm. On me, it manifested at the nerve that comes off at C5, runs up over my shoulder, down inside the bicep, and then down the inside of the arm and affects the index and middle finger. And of course, I got it on my right arm, and I'm right-handed. For the longest time, I had absolutely no control of this hand. Basically, the fingers did what I wanted to do. And I could, when you're doing software tutorials, you need full control. I would be just bopping along, doing whatever, and suddenly my hand would decide to right-click and, come out of node editing mode, or, bring up a context menu or something like that. So I just stopped with the videos, put them on hold, but I continued with the live streams. And that's been an adventure. Long about October, I had another flare-up where it showed up on the left side of my abdomen. And that set me back and started some treatments all over again from the very beginning. We have been, since late December, early January, we have been slowly weaning me off the medications. And just 2 days ago, things started flaring up again. So I don't know what the status is going to be. I don't know what my status is going to be. The treatment for shingles is pregabalin or gabapentin, depending upon what you tolerate. I've been on them for coming up on a year. They are antidepressants. And as such, they also affect certain other faculties, equilibrium and what have you. So as a result, I have not been able to work in this shop for close to a year. The only power tool I have trusted myself to be around is that cordless screwdriver you see right there. I will not run power tools, especially ones that have spinny bits that can remove skin, the CNC router included. So, that's my tale. I had another flare-up starting day before yesterday, so I don't know what the status is going to be for a while. Now, as to you not getting notifications, click that little bell and set it to all notifications, and make sure that you are subscribed. Sometimes people get their subscriptions get dropped. So make sure that you are subscribed. Click that little bell and set it for all notifications in that drop-down menu. Then you should get notifications when I do anything. But as it sits right now, recorded and edited videos are still kind of on the, they're still on hiatus. So, Butch Miller says, Mark was clearly able to use his broom. The shop is too clean. Leaf blower. I don't mess around with a broom. Leaf blower. 8 Center says, we are early today. Yes, we went on daylight savings time over the weekend, and I know Europe has not. So we started daylight savings time. I believe you guys do it next week or maybe the week after. But yeah. So, okay. The other thing I wanted to address real quick is Vectric released an update a few days ago. It's up to version 12.508. No, I have not used the shop since the mini split. I just can't run the power tools because of the medications. I've driven maybe a handful of times, just because, and that's before I take my medications in the morning because I can't drive. I can't do anything. I'm going to get brave and try to run the lawnmower next weekend. We'll see. But it's been a pain, literally and figuratively. The update that came out to version 12.508 has a couple of warnings that come a couple of warnings that come with it, and we're going to go through them right now. And I thought I already did a screen share for this. Turns out I did not. That's okay. We'll get into them right now. This is the most important one right up here on top. There has been a need to make some changes to the file format and tool databases with this version. All right. The changes to the tool database are the most important ones. All right. This means that files created by this version will not be able to be opened by version 12.507 or earlier. That's nothing new. If you have the update 12.507 installed and you create a file, versions 12.506 or earlier can't open them either. It will come up with you, it'll come up with an error telling you that you can't open it because it was created on a newer version of the software. This is nothing new. The change that is new is this is similar for the tool database. Once you edit the tool database by this new version, it's still accessible in the older versions, but only as read-only. So if you have one computer you've updated to 12.508, and on another computer you're still running 12.507 or earlier, you can open and use the tool database, but you cannot modify it. You cannot modify it. You can't edit a tool. You can in, let's say in a profile toolpath, you've got this edit button here. You can edit it there, but you cannot go into the tool database and change any of these. It will be read-only. So if none of these updates are ever mandatory, okay, unless there's a major security issue. None of these updates are generally mandatory. But it is good to go ahead and update all of the computers. They've added support for a new advanced machining module. If you subscribe to Vectric's YouTube channel, they have released several modules for cabinet making, for advanced machining, and a couple of others. There are videos on how to use these modules that are very well done. That was why some of these changes had to be done for the tool database and the file formatting. Okay. They fixed a few issues here. They also added snapping support for tilt and fade. It used to be when you were using either tilt or fade, you had to kind of estimate where you were starting the anchor point and then where you were ending the anchor point. Now, but that didn't have geometry snapping or smart snapping ability. Now it does. So there were a few other, issues that they took care of. But the most important thing is this one here. If you update to 12.508 on any computer, update them all. If you have the software installed on more than one computer, update them all. That's the easiest way to get it done. So that's it on that. Normally, I don't talk about small updates like this, but this one is kind of important because I'm trying to head off potential problems because I will have questions, I'm sure. Okay, let's see here. I'm going to check. We had another one here from Ed. How you doing this morning, Ed? I don't have a full grasp of how the anchor points in the bounding box relate. I'm sure there's a video available. Can you go over or refer me to the video? Thanks. Okay. I'm a little bit, I'm not quite sure what you mean about anchor points in the bounding box. Let me bring something up here and let me know if this is what you're talking about. I believe it is, but I could be wrong. Let's see here. We've got, let's make a star just simply because that's easy to do. And we're going to draw a star right there. Close. Okay. I've got a star here because it's not a rectangle has a bounding box, but it's more or less the shape of the geometry. This way, when I select it, excuse me. Sorry about that. Wow. And let's say I want to rotate it. The bounding box is, we can see these look like hollow circles around here in this rectangle pattern around it. This is a representation of the bounding box. Okay. Now, the anchor points can be pretty much whatever you want along that rectangle, as represented by this diagram here. you can rotate in this case based on the center. And now you notice we have this bullseye right here. When I clicked on the center, that bullseye went from the center, my X0, Y0, up to the center of the star. That anchor point is the center of the star's bounding box. Let me close this, and we're going to go into resize. We can see that my width in X is wider than my height in Y. So it's not a perfect rectangle. This bounding box tries to compensate for that. Or excuse me, it's not a perfect square. The bounding box tries to compensate for that. If we were to, let me get down in the weeds here, and we're going to click on this. I'm going to bring a, well, I can't do it while I've got, all right, we're going to do this, and we're going to do that, and we're going to do that. Basically, I've drawn a guideline on the furthest points out in X and the furthest points up and down in Y. Now I'm going to select that, go into move and transform mode, and we can see that that bounding box is slightly larger than the geometry itself. That's to give just a little bit of a cushion around the geometry, so that when I, in this case, rotate, or if I resize in this direction, I'm changing the size of the bounding box as well as the size of the geometry itself. It's maintaining that proportion while also allowing you to move, or in this case, resize, or in this case, move or rescale. I go back into rotate. It's going to rotate based on the center of the bounding box. If we look, we see this center mark here goes right through that and then right there. Same with this here. It is not based on the star itself. It's based on the center of the bounding box. Same thing with the bottom left corner. If I want to rotate from this area here, it goes out all the way out this direction. Puts the rotation center at this corner of the bounding box, or up at this corner of the bounding box, or whatever. So the bounding box itself is there. It's there. Well, this is one of those things that's really difficult to explain. But I know what I want to say. I just can't put it into words. Does that answer your question, Ed? Rich, that your dog wants out or the neighbor's dog wants in. No, that is the neighbor's dog. We don't have a dog. That is, we call it the DEWS system. DEWS, the dog early warning system. That's saying somebody just got a delivery or the other neighbor's dog is out. So anyhow, yeah, neighbor has a German Shepherd and all of the associated issues that come along with it. So did that answer your question, Ed? It just basically put anchoring to the bounding box is it makes it easier for you to figure out where a piece of geometry is where it's going to go, and it's easier for the software to keep track of it rather than trying to keep Mark, show them how to turn the bullseye on and off. Okay, in some cases you can turn that bullseye on and off. Some cases you can't. Whoops, wrong button. What that bullseye is the rotation center or the pivot point. This is where, if I rotate this, this is where that rotation is going to take place from. Okay? and it is movable. I can grab it and drag it down here. Now if I rotate this, it's going to rotate based on that rotation center. And you can see how the bounding box has now changed. Control Z to undo that. And I'm going to Control Z again. Whoops. Nope. Control Y to bring that back. And a lot of people don't know that. Control Z is undo. Control Y is redo. So, okay. Let's go back into the move and transform mode. Or I can drag this back up here into the center. Again, that is the pivot point. To turn that off, you just put your cursor over it and click it. Now it's going to make me a liar. That's making me a liar. Turkey? Yep, it's making me a liar. All right. I think because I went into rotate. Let's see about mirror. Can I turn that off now? Nope. Not going to let me do it now. All right. Put it into node editing. No rotation center. Come out of node editing. Still won't let me turn it off. Let me move it, drag it down here. There we go. I had to drag it off the center. All right. And to bring it back, it's just as easy. Just click. And it brought that rotation center back. Yes, you're right. I had to move it first. You're right. So, and that was just another one of those little scenes that you don't see in an edited video. I look a lot smarter than I am in an edited video, I'm here to tell you. And let's move it off. Click on the center point, and it's gone. So, anyhow. Oh, yeah, that's what it is. One neighbor's dog wants to get at the other neighbor's dog. There's a broken fence board. So they bark in between. That's all right. All right, let's see here. Dave, Sam Spade says, how about adding the tool to the older version? Would it be editable in the newer version? No. If you edit a tool in the old version, say, oh, yes, it will. If you add a tool to the old version and then upload that tool database to the cloud, it will be able to be opened and used in the newer version. It's just if you add a tool or make a change in the new version and then upload that to the cloud and then update your database on the old version, it will be read-only. It's not forward. It is completely forward compatible. It's just not backward compatible because of the different file types. So the easiest way to handle all that is to just update all of them. You know, it's not that difficult. And to update, the way I've always done it, up to help, check for updates, and it'll pop up the update manager. Next, you already have the most recent version of VCAR Pro 12.5 installed on your system. Okay. If it isn't, it'll tell you there's an update available. It takes, I think this update took roughly 45 seconds. It's not difficult at all. So, and it does benefit you to keep all of your software updated, because they do a lot of bug fixes, and they do add features. So there we go. Get rid of those guidelines. I don't need them. Okay. Were there any other questions? Don't tell me I'm already tap dancing here. Let's see here. Let's see, going back through. Joseph Finley, you single-handedly taught me Vectric, and I panicked when I got to check videos and there hadn't been new ones. Well, I apologize for that, like I said, and thank you for the kind words, by the way. You know, I just have fun doing this, and that's all there is. And I mean, it's really surreal to me that this many people, I mean, we currently have 79 people watching. It's surreal to me that 79 people, you know, give enough of a ding dong about anything I have said to want to keep coming back. Okay, let's see. 8 Center says, I've solved my problem this week, but just making new STL models and using those. But I had the problem of trying to V-carve on top of a razor knife scale curvature that I put in the molding toolpath. Yes. Was hoping you had a different workaround to allow V-carve to project on the model. No. That is, and the reason for that, let me jump back over here real quick. We're going to spotlight this. Referring to the molding toolpath here, you create your, in your case, knife scale curvature within the molding toolpath, and get that done. Calculate the toolpath, preview it, looks great. Then you come over here and try to, say, V-carve on top of the molding toolpath. You click on project toolpath onto 3D model, and you get no suitable vectors. Okay, I forgot. We'll select that there. But there's no model. There's no component. It's not going to carve onto that component. The reason is because the molding toolpath does not create a 3D model. It does not create a 3D component. It creates a toolpath. That's why when you use, let me make something here real quick. Let me close this. Close. And we're going to go over here into the 2D view. I'm just going to jump into my clip art. And we'll get a molding profile, and I'll just use this one. No special reason. Back to, okay, so I've got my, all right, there we go. I'm going to jump over here. We're going to select this, go into the molding toolpath. I got my drive rail selected. Hold down shift. There is my profile. It's going to cut that direction. Gap above toolpath. This is good enough. Create sharp corners. And we're going to calculate. Tool will cut through the material. That's fine. I don't care. All right. Now, well, that goes really weird, but that's okay because it went from the bottom. We'll just preview that puppy. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba. Okay, we're going to get rid of that. That actually kind of looks cool. But now I want to V-carve something in this. No, let's make this more accurate. What we're going to do is we're going to, hello, no, got to do it in the 2D view. Going to, I got to change the, Make that the start point. Boink. So we're going down that way. So there's my drive rail. Okay, come out of node editing. There's my drive rail. There's my, my profile. So now, let's calculate that. Yeah, it'll cut through the material. I'm fine with it. There we go. Now that's better. Now we'll preview that. Okay, so that's my star. Always trust your car to the man that wears a star. Now, if I want to V-carve on this flat, I'm fine. But let's say I want to design, let's do some text here. And I'm going to do just standard text. There, just put my name in there. Close. I'm going to take this down here. All right, there we go. We'll go into the, now I'm going to resize that. Hold down Shift. All right, now I'm going to drag it over here. Rotate about like so. Make it a little bit smaller. Bring it up, come on. A little bit bigger. There we go. That's more realistic. Okay, now I got my text selected. Shoot over here. Go into a V-carve toolpath. Project toolpath onto 3. Whoops. Close. Let me get rid of these two here first. And we will delete all visible. There we go. Now I've got this text. We'll V-carve this. That'll work. That'll work. Calculate. Okay, that tool is too big. Okay, so it's an empty. You see the red exclamation point, and it's in italics. That means it's empty. There is no toolpath. Now let's preview this one. Nothing. It didn't project onto this. There was no 3D model here. Let's reset the preview. Now let's check this again. We'll preview that. And it engraved up here on the surface. The reason is because there is no 3D component here. It just creates a toolpath. John Thompson says, after the molding toolpath creates the toolpath and you cut it, then I believe you can save it as a model then. No, it creates a toolpath. It doesn't create any geometry. It doesn't create any kind of components. Not even in Aspire. Not even in Aspire. Now, if you create that, if you want to create the same thing in Aspire, let me open up Aspire here. What you would do is create your star. Yeah, we're okay there. You would create your star. Then you can come clip art. And we're going to go to molding profile. We use the same profile. Double click to get one out there. Then you would use your modeling tools to select the outside here, and you could do a extrude or do a 2-rail sweep. You can create a component. Let's see what you would do. Let's extrude. We're going to use this selection. We're going to start right here. And we're going to use this cross section here. But I need to reverse the, no, I don't want to do that. Use the vector cross sweep between span, use a component. No, I don't need to weave or under. What I need to do, I need to close this because I need to change the start point on this. Otherwise, we're going to have problems. Make start point. There we go. Now I can do that. Come out of node editing. Go back into extrude. Use selection. Now I can hold down shift and select that profile. Use that vector cross section. Create square corners. Sweep between spans. I don't want to scale it to an exact height. I'm just going to apply. And there is that profile, which did not do what I wanted it to do. That did not do what I wanted it to do. Let me reset. I will turn off sweep between spans and let's see how that handles it. Oops, I did it wrong. There we go. Use selection. Let's see. Use selection. Hold down shift. Use the vector cross section. And apply. It still did it. All right, here's where we're having fun. Let's reset. I did that as add. Oh yeah, it looks real cool, Rich. It would make great surface for a picture frame, but it's not what I want. Vector cross section. I don't want to use a component. I might have to offset this and do a two-rail sweep, which I don't want to do. Let's get back here. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to have to do. Oh, no, wait, Mark, what are you doing? Okay. Back to 2D view. Let's go over here. They need to add a leg to this. I don't know what I was thinking. And let's do this. We'll activate smart snapping and boom. I forgot you have to add the leg. That gives it height. And we'll join that. One open vector, join. Okay, close. Lord. All right. So anyway, extrude, use selection, hold down shift, select that. We're good. And we'll apply. That's what I was after. Holy underwear, Batman. No, I didn't need to reverse. I had to add a height to it. Okay. Let's see. Let's take off the sweep between spans. Reset. We'll use selection. Click on the profile. And we'll apply. Now, it still cut out that center portion. Well, that's okay. I can fill that by creating a shape. Let's see, what is my shape height here? The components. Oh, well, I got to close that. That's why. Component. There we go. Properties. My shape height is 1 inch. Okay. Close. Now, 2D view. I want to select that vector. And I want to create a flat shape. Using that vector, I want the base height to be 1.0. And we're going to do merge. And we're going to apply. Now I go into the 3D view and I have my flat. And nope, it went too far out. Okay. Well, anyhow, this is creating a component in Aspire. Now it'll V-carve the text. And yes, it will carve the text at an angle, but not with the bit I had selected. It will carve the text without an angle. Let me close this, and I want to delete. No, let's try combine mode, add. That's even worse. We'll just delete that component. There. Turn off my vectors. We'll go over here real quick and V-carved. Oh, I didn't make any text, dummy. Back to design. We'll go Mark. Let's see, where is that tab? There it is. All right, close. And now I want to hold down Shift and make this smaller. Bring it down here. Rotate. Rotate a little more. There we go. Make it just a tad smaller. There. Okay. So now, material setup. Okay, let's make my material 1.0. No gap. We're okay there. Finishing toolpath. We're good there. We're going to do the model boundary and calculate and preview. While that's running, Eighth Center says, idea just came to me. Work around then by using a dome component supersized to put the edge of the curve against the curved edge of the length of the scale. Absolutely. You can also draw a vector that represents the dimensions of the knife scale, and then select that vector and use level clipping to clip that dome to the shape of the scale, of your knife scale. All right. Now, whether or not the bit can actually reach down that far with this here, this is not something that I would really attempt. I'm just showing the component. It can be done. Now, turn on vectors. Come over here and select Mark. Hello. All right, we're going to the 2D view. Now we'll select the vector. That'll learn you. Close my preview. V-carve using not a 90. Let's go with a 15 degree. And not going to do a flat, well, yeah, let's go flat depth of 0.0625. And I'm not going to worry about a clearance tool. Project toolpath onto 3D model. Calculate, and there's the toolpath. Preview, and there we are. Now, whether the collet can actually get down here because of this, probably not. So what I would end up doing would be doing a little bit of math to figure out the offset out here. Or I could cheat like a big dog and just, oh no, I don't have to do that. I can select the component and draw a vector around the component. Now, I don't need that vector. U to ungroup on my keyboard. I don't need that vector. I can delete it. I can come along here now and do a profile. Cut to the outside. I would use a 1/4 inch end mill, not a 1/8 inch. And the reason is because the material's too thick. Select, calculate, and I would do this before the V-carving. Select. Oh, I didn't change my cut depth. Z equals. Calculate. Now preview it so that it cuts it out. Then you could come back and do the engraving. It should be able to reach down in there. So that's how I would do that. The top of your text would be blurred due to undercutting. Yes, it would. Now, this and this goes into one of those things. Just because you theoretically can do something doesn't mean that you really can or that you should. This was just an attempt to show that you can project a V-carve toolpath onto a 3D component, but when you're in V-carve Pro and you use the let's preview all toolpaths. You can see it just removed it. When you use the molding toolpath, you're not creating a component. You're creating a toolpath. There is no 3D component here. That was my point. So. All right. Hopefully that answered that 8 center, and you are on the right track with level clipping. Create your 3D dish to curve it. Then use, create a vector that reflects the shape and size of your knife scale. Then get out of the preview, close the preview, shoot over here. In your component tree, you would select the vector, right-click on the level, and right here, clipping, apply. Okay? Then if you make any changes out here after you apply level clipping, you will have to come in, because it won't fix it in real time. You'll have to come over here to clipping, and click on Update. If that doesn't work, you can remove level clipping and then apply it again. But level clipping is an easy way to cheat. Seems like lying to the machine is the mark of the grandmaster machine. You're not lying, you're just exaggerating the truth. You know? A case in point is my keyhole bit. Vectric will not let you enter a bit in your tool database that creates an undercut. And a keyhole bit creates an undercut. It's entered as an end mill. But there's all the that's the measurement that is important, is the cutting depth of that keyhole bit. Everything else is entered as if it was an end mill. I just have to know that that's the cut depth, and that right there is the pass depth. That cutting depth is the pass depth. So the keyhole bit was entered as a end mill. When I use it, it plunges down to the full depth, makes its pass, comes back, then lifts out of the keyhole. So yeah, you are gaming the system. You're lying to the machine. But only because it's being obstinate. So lots of workarounds. When they say you can't do that, oh really? You know, yeah, you can, just not the way they want you to do that. So, okay, haven't tried keyholes yet, but it's on the list for a dovetail on a stool leg. Yeah, dovetails are the same way. It won't allow you to enter a design. It won't allow you to enter a tool that creates an undercut. So you have to lie to it and tell it that it's an end mill or whatever. End mill is the easiest because you know you have to plunge a certain depth. Then you have to do your cut, maybe come back. In the case of a keyhole bit, you have to come back. So, but that's real easy to do. So. Alrighty, well, I guess if that answered everybody, let's see here. Were there any other questions? No, it doesn't look like it. Okay, well, then I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I don't know what we're going to be doing tomorrow, or excuse me, I don't know what we're going to be doing next Sunday. But that's where you come in. Leave me a comment down here in the comments of this live stream. Let me know what you want to see. This has never been about me. This has always been about you. So if you have comments, questions, concerns, you know, that's the best way to get that across to me. Let me know what you want to see. I'll try to come up with a topic that we can talk about. But in lieu of that, let me know. Channel members, tomorrow we're going to get into a very interesting discussion about two-sided machining. We have a special guest, fellow member Dwayne Ruthig is going to do some demonstrations of a project he's done that some of you have seen, but a little bit more advanced than the project I had in mind for two-sided machining. He's going to demonstrate in VCarve Pro, which will help out everybody. So, yeah, we can look forward to that. Also, channel members, remember, Thursday, we're doing the 3D printing live stream. And Hangout. So Thursday, 5 Pacific, 8 Eastern. Tomorrow's members only live stream, 5 Pacific. I just saw a comment. 5 Pacific, 8 Eastern. Um, if you know, you know. The right people will get it. Uh, and was not available last night. Normally Saturdays, 5-ish Pacific, 8-ish Eastern, we do a just a Zoom call BS chat where we talk about barbecue, snowblowers, or whatever's on y'all's mind. It's just a bunch of folk getting together and giving it a good go. It's a real good time. It's a bowl session, and the bowl gets deep. So bring your waiters and a beverage and come join us and have some fun. If you don't know what I'm talking about, or you would like some information on becoming a channel member, getting added to the super secret WhatsApp chat group, you'll see the word join down below this video panel that you're watching right now. Click on that word join. You're not joining anything. You're not joining anything. You're just getting information. Another video is going to pop up and play and tell you all about channel membership. We got a great group of folks. We have a lot of fun on that WhatsApp chat. And they're just a great group of folks dedicated to helping one another succeed and answering questions and inciting excellent discussions about techniques and the various and sundry things involved in this CNC hobby, as well as lasers and 3D printers. So, again, let me know what you want to see next Sunday. I'll see you channel members tomorrow. Other than that, have a great rest of your weekend. Thank you for spending part of your Sunday with me. And y'all take care. Go do something cool. Go grab a package of Peeps and give it a good go. If you don't like Peeps, well, there's always Cadbury cream eggs. Have a great day, y'all.